Imagine coming home after a long, exhausting day. The living room is a mess. Toys scattered. Pillows on the floor. Surfaces dirty. And then a robot steps in. It moves with intelligence, deciding what to pick up, how to move, how to organize. This is Helix 02, the humanoid robot that's transforming everyday life, quietly, efficiently, almost like a human. Now let's look at one of the most important capabilities of Helix 02, how it handles objects. Moving around a living room is one thing. Actually interacting with everyday household items is much harder. In this demo, Helix 02 approaches a cluttered table inside a living room. Behind the table sits a couch, with pillows resting unevenly across the cushions, while several toys and small household items are placed across the table surface. As the robot approaches the table, it is already carrying two tools. In one arm, a towel. In its other hand, a spray bottle. Instead of searching for cleaning tools, Helix 02 brings them with it, preparing for the task before it even begins. First, the robot raises the spray bottle. Its fingers wrap securely around the handle and trigger. No hesitation. No awkward repositioning. The robot sprays the surface of the table, spreading a light layer of liquid across the area that needs to be cleaned. Once the spraying is complete, it immediately transitions to the next step. Now it switches to the towel. Cloth is one of the most difficult materials for robots to handle because it doesn't keep a fixed shape. It bends, folds, shifts, and moves unpredictably with every motion. But Helix 02 adjusts its grip as it wipes the table surface. While cleaning, the robot subtly repositions the towel in its hand, folding and shifting it mid-motion so it can cover more area efficiently. The wiping motion is controlled, steady, and deliberate. When the surface is clean, Helix 02 doesn't drop the towel or pause to figure out what to do next. Instead, it lifts the towel upward and places it over its shoulder, a small gesture that looks surprisingly human. With both hands now free, the robot immediately continues with the next task. This is where the robot's coordination becomes even more visible. Helix 02 begins using both hands at the same time. The toys sitting on the table are not simply pushed aside or left in place. Instead, the robot carefully picks them up one by one. Nearby in the living room is a bin basket. Helix 02 gathers the toys from the table and places them neatly into the bin basket, organizing the space rather than simply moving objects around. Each movement is controlled and balanced. Objects are picked up, rotated into the correct orientation, and placed carefully where they belong. Even small items are handled with precision. At one point, the robot picks up a remote control. It rotates the remote so the buttons face the correct direction, aligns its finger with the button panel, and presses a button, all in one smooth, continuous motion. Throughout the entire process, you can see constant adjustments happening in its hands and wrists. The robot tightens its grip when holding heavier objects. It loosens its grip for lighter ones. If an object has an unusual shape, the fingers shift position slightly to stabilize it. These small corrections happen continuously while the robot works. Nothing looks forced or mechanical. Instead, Helix 02 handles objects the same way a person would, by constantly adjusting to what it's touching. That level of dexterity is one of the hardest problems in robotics. And this demonstration shows that Helix 02 is already capable of performing complex tasks with everyday household items. Spray bottles, towels, toys, containers, remote controls. These may look like simple objects, but they represent the kinds of interactions robots must master before they can operate inside real homes and workplaces. Helix 02 isn't just moving through the environment. It's actively working inside it, cleaning surfaces, organizing objects, handling tools. And that ability is what makes systems like this so important for the future of humanoid robotics. But handling objects is only part of what Helix 02 can do. Movement is where the system truly comes together. Inside the living room, the robot doesn't just stand in one place completing tasks. It moves continuously through the environment. Furniture creates narrow pathways. Tables, couches, and chairs form tight spaces that would force most machines to slow down or stop completely. Helix 02 moves through them without hesitation. It steps sideways between obstacles. It adjusts its posture to pass through narrow gaps. It carries objects while constantly recalculating its path. Every step is controlled. Every turn is deliberate. Nothing about the movement feels rigid or pre-programmed. The robot is constantly observing its surroundings and adjusting in real time. While holding objects, it shifts its balance. While turning corners, it changes its stride. While navigating the room, it keeps track of where everything is. Watching it move feels less like watching a machine execute commands, and more like watching a system solve problems moment by moment. It's not simply following a fixed route. It's navigating. And that ability connects directly to what makes Helix 02 different from traditional robots. Most robots are built for one task. One machine picks items from a conveyor belt. Another welds parts together. Another stacks boxes in a warehouse. Each of those machines must be programmed for a very specific job. Helix 02 works differently. Instead of memorizing one task at a time, it learns how to perform many different actions using the same system. It isn't given detailed instructions for every object. It doesn't need separate programming for a towel, a toy, or a remote control. Instead, the robot observes. It trains on data. It practices movements. And through that process, it develops new capabilities. Every time it performs a task, it gathers more information. Every movement becomes part of its experience. Every adjustment improves its understanding of the physical world. That means the system doesn't stay the same. It improves, organizing objects, handling tools, navigating complex spaces. The more Helix 02 operates, the better it becomes at all of them. This is the difference between a machine that performs chores and a system that understands them. Helix 02 isn't just executing instructions. It's learning how to work in human environments. And that changes what robots can be used for. Today, the robot is tidying a living room. But the same abilities could apply almost anywhere. Homes, offices, workplaces, anywhere that requires objects to be handled, tools to be used, or environments to be organized. Tasks that once required constant human effort could eventually be handled by systems like this. Cleaning surfaces, sorting items, carrying objects, completing everyday routines, all performed by a single adaptable machine. Watching Helix 02 in action makes one thing clear. This isn't just a demonstration of a cleaning task. It's a demonstration of a new kind of robotics, a system that can move naturally, interact with the world, learn from experience, and continuously improve. Helix 02 doesn't just complete tasks inside a living room. It shows what becomes possible when intelligence, movement, and dexterity are combined in one humanoid machine. And if this is what the technology looks like today, then what comes next could change the way we live, the way we work, and the way we interact with machines. Because Helix 02 isn't just another robot. It's a glimpse of the future. And this is only the beginning.